Money, it's a concept that has shaped human civilization for thousands of years. We've gone from bartering shells and spices to using gold coins, paper bills, credit cards, and online banking. Money is always evolving, and in the 21st century, a new form of money was born: cryptocurrency. Among thousands of digital coins, one name stands above all the rest: Bitcoin. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the world of cryptocurrency. We'll explore what it is, uncover why Bitcoin was created, understand how it works, and see how it's already changing the global financial system. So, what exactly is cryptocurrency? Simply put, it's a digital or virtual form of money that uses advanced encryption or cryptography for security. This is where it gets really interesting. Unlike the traditional money in your bank account, which is issued by governments and controlled by banks, cryptocurrencies are decentralized. That means no single company, bank, or government is in charge. Let's break down the key features. First, it's digital only. You can't hold a physical Bitcoin in your hand. Second, as we mentioned, it's decentralized. Power is distributed across a network, not concentrated in one place. Third, it's transparent. All transactions are recorded on a public digital ledger that anyone can see. This ledger is called the blockchain. And finally, it's secure. The cryptographic nature of the blockchain makes it incredibly difficult to cheat the system or create fraudulent transactions. To truly understand why Bitcoin was created, we need to rewind to the year 2008. The world was in the grip of a devastating global financial crisis. Giant, trusted banks were collapsing, people's life savings vanished overnight. Confidence in the entire financial system was shattered. This crisis forced people to ask some very tough questions. Why do we let banks have so much control over our money? Why can governments just print more money whenever they want, potentially devaluing our savings? Is there a better, more trustworthy way to manage finance? It was out of the ashes of this financial meltdown that a radical new idea began to take shape: a trustless, decentralized currency for the people. And then it happened in October 2008. As the financial world was still reeling, a white paper quietly appeared online. It was titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. The author was a mysterious person, or maybe even a group, using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. This paper laid out the blueprint for a new kind of money. Then in January 2009, the Bitcoin network officially went live with the creation of the very first block, known as the Genesis block. And hidden inside the code of that block was a message, a headline from a newspaper: The Times 3 Jan 2009 Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. This wasn't just a random message. It was a statement. It was a declaration that Bitcoin was created as a direct response to the failures of the traditional financial system. To this day, the true identity of Satoshi Nakamoto remains one of the biggest mysteries in modern technology. So how does this revolutionary system actually work? At its core, Bitcoin runs on a technology called the blockchain. Think of it like a digital record book that is shared and verified by a huge network of computers all around the world. Here's a simple breakdown of the process. When you send Bitcoin to someone, that transaction is bundled together with others into a block. This block is then broadcast to the global network of computers, which are called nodes. These nodes work to verify that all the transactions in the block are legitimate. Once verified, the block is permanently added to the end of the chain, creating a public and unchangeable record. This process is secured by a consensus mechanism called proof of work. It requires participants, called miners, to solve incredibly complex mathematical puzzles. This system ensures that no one can spend the same Bitcoin twice, makes the network extremely secure, and keeps every transaction completely transparent on the public ledger. You just heard me mention miners. So what is Bitcoin mining? It's not about digging in the ground with a pickaxe. Bitcoin mining is the engine that keeps the entire network running. Miners use incredibly powerful computers to compete against each other to solve those complex cryptographic puzzles we talked about. The first miner to solve the puzzle gets to add the next block of transactions to the blockchain. As a reward for their work and the electricity they use, they receive a certain amount of newly created Bitcoin. This process serves two purposes. It validates transactions and it introduces new coins into circulation. But here is a crucial detail. The total supply of Bitcoin is capped at 21 million coins. That's it. No more can ever be created. This built-in scarcity is why many people call Bitcoin digital gold. So, what are the big advantages of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general? First and foremost is decentralization. There is no single point of failure and no central authority that can freeze your account or censor transactions. Second is global access. Anyone with an internet connection can use it, breaking down financial barriers. Transaction costs can also be much lower, especially for sending money across international borders. But perhaps the biggest advantage is financial freedom. You have full control over your money, acting as your own bank. For millions of people, especially in developing countries without stable banking systems, cryptocurrency offers their first-ever access to global financial services. Of course, it's not all perfect. Cryptocurrency comes with its own set of risks and challenges. The most well-known is price volatility. The value of cryptocurrencies can swing dramatically in a very short amount of time. Security is another concern. While the blockchain itself is secure, individual wallets can be hacked and scams are unfortunately common. The regulatory landscape is also still evolving, with different countries taking very different approaches. And there are valid environmental concerns about the large amount of energy consumed by Bitcoin mining. Because of these risks, it's crucial to educate yourself thoroughly and be cautious before getting involved. So what does the future hold? Today, there are thousands of different cryptocurrencies, like Ethereum, which powers decentralized applications, and many others. Governments around the world are now exploring their own versions, known as central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. Major companies are adopting blockchain technology for everything from supply chain management to digital identity. Bitcoin has journeyed from a niche experiment to a globally recognized asset held by individuals and even some corporations. Whether it ultimately becomes the world's primary currency or serves as a digital store of value like gold, its impact is already undeniable. In the end, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency are more than just a new form of digital money. They represent a fundamental shift in how we think about trust, value, and freedom in the digital age. They challenge the status quo and force us to reconsider what's possible in the world of finance. As technology continues to accelerate, one thing is certain: the financial world will never be the same again. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content.